Abusian for me mo bibia kwa baba viral show ene no se mohumia se na ye ne dada no abibia ye call mebu no a otumi abo ho modern I establish it and as wonya impact e wa afoforo so ene no chinchini e de abepie e wo CEO for LMG Creative Media ene ne betwetwe enkomo na ebisan ekwan a otumi efa so edu sam pempen so na esienso etumi afa mu efutu ntene no muhumia many yebra penny Mr. Lee what are you there me for
but I say
I was all upon me mommy I was all upon me the same thing
but I say
well Mr. Lee
2 stones at the same time Mr. Lee Amankrah a branch bia like I say oye entrepreneur
okay
or sign a media guy at the same time a life coach and at the platform a minister as well.
A minister in
Minister of God.
Wow.
In the process.
So you can't a life coach or any life coach because all listening all can say oh you're life coach.
Well, I would say every human being you come to earth with a talent.
Okay.
Obi o another match there more than one. What I say. Bebre now I do match there bebre nya media more. The life coach is something I do as a way of imparting life, imparting knowledge and wisdom onto others.
Wow.
What I say. And mostly the life coaching that I do is centered on business.
Business?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Business, more on business. That's what I do now.
So, Mr. Lee, Pacho, so bet me a boy na. Obu abeka say be Mr. Lee ekwasha say free. Babe school be and a man edu this style and I say with me who this kind of abilities and I say gift. And for now share with school I say.
Well, Mr. Say free. A crow kids will be Western region.
Western region.
I want to be free.
Where are you?
I'm a Western guy.
Oh wow. Wow, nice meeting you. Wow.
I'm a Western guy. I started my elementary school at Benka International School.
Okay.
That's where my family are. I want to be free actually. I want to be Shasia. And then we JHS and so and then I call secondary school at Amankrah Senior High School.
Amankrah
Senior High School.
Hey, wow.
Yes. I want to be senior high education before moving to Kumasi.
Okay. So currently, then Mr. Lee Amankrah.
Currently, a creative director of a brand known as LMG Creative Media. At LMG Creative Media, we do graphic design and print-related activities. So, and a little bit of video production as well.
Okay.
So for now, I can say that I'm in charge of a brand.
So how did it started?
It all started in my room.
In your room?
The idea started in the room. There's a saying that don't despise small beginnings.
Okay.
And then there's also a saying that brighten your corner where you are.
Sure. I think it's a Methodist or Pentecost.
Surely, I don't know, but but that particular quotation inspires me a lot.
Wow.
It inspires me a lot. The whole idea of the brand LMG started in a room. I was going through a lot in life. I don't know, I don't want to go there, but I have to. When I completed my tertiary education, I was going through a lot. Financially and business-wise as well. I was going through a lot. So I was thinking about how to start something on my own. Before that, I was working with a media house.
Media house?
Yes.
Media house.
I work with some radio stations. I work with Angel FM.
Okay.
I work with Ash FM.
Oh, okay.
I work with, I had a little bit time to, I went to Takoradi to work with 1 or 2 stations, but Kumasi, Ash FM, Silver FM, and then Angel FM.
Wow.
These are the 3 stations that I've worked with. But at a point in time, I wanted to discover the real me. So
why, when you were working with these media houses, didn't you discover these talents or
Yeah,
the real you?
when I was working with a media house, I didn't know myself enough. So I was not getting the right requisite for my talent.
Okay. Requisite no be because say ka de ba form my.
I wasn't getting, for example, it's like when you're working for a media house and the little support you get cannot pay the bills.
Okay.
Do you understand what I want
Sure,
to mean?
sure.
Yes, there were a lot of bills to pay, but then the money which was coming out of the media wasn't enough at that time. So I decided to start something on my own.
Wow.
So that was where I got the idea of the LMG Creative
So
Media.
Amankrah Senior High, right?
Yes.
So did you further on with your education or?
Yes, I have a degree in communication.
Wow.
And I'm also doing marketing course,
Okay.
short marketing course, and some fast track programs too.
Okay.
So that's what I'm working on now as part-time. But for
So-
now, it's all about business.
It's all about business. So tell us something about business.
My business, actually, as I said earlier, that I started in a room. One day, I was in the room listening to a radio program, and there was a music playing on the background. And I was not a fan of hip hop,
Okay.
but I think it was a hip hop song. And then I can hear the artist saying that one man can change the world. In fact, that line in the song changed my thinking.
One man can change the world.
I think the artist's name is Big Sean or something.
Okay.
One man can change the world. That was where I got the inspiration that I can also change the world with my talent. So the talent I had was that I can easily communicate digitally
Okay.
through art. So what I did was I started learning graphic design tutorials on YouTube.
So you didn't went to a media house or a media school for maybe
after my journalism school,
which year?
that was in I completed in 2015.
2015, which is senior high.
No, I completed 2015 tertiary education in 2015.
Okay.
So after the tertiary education, that was where I discovered this great talent.
You discovered this talent. You started inside your room and decided to. Was there any challenge?
There were a lot of challenges, but let me begin from here. When I completed a media school,
Or was 2015?
Yes, that was 2015, and I started working with some media houses. And later I realized I wanted to be on my own, so I decided to start this business. I started from clothing.
Clothing, as in
Selling clothing.
selling, like you purchase it and.
Mine was
By
I
yourself.
design stuff on
Okay,
plain
African prints.
clothes. No, I was in the form of apparels, like plain shirt, plain t-shirt.
Okay.
Then I designed something on the computer.
Okay.
Then I print it on it. It can be in the form of a religious trend.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
A family
like
trend.
more or less like a customized.
Customize something.
Oh, okay.
That was what I started with. And I started with football,
Football.
with football fans.
Okay.
So sometimes when I look through, I see some Barcelona fans, Real Madrid fans, and some other fans. So I decided to design something and then sell to these fans. So that was where the whole idea started first.
So, let somebody will say, I started with 1,000 CDs. I started with 500 CDs. How much did it cost you to start up this business?
Can I even guess how much I started with this business? After a year of my business, that was why I started seeing money. I don't know if I want to tell how much I started with, but I can say I started below 500 cedis. Because the shirts I started with were 20 pieces. I started with only 20 pieces of shirt. And if one shirt cost even 15 cedis, you can imagine it is even below 500 cedis. That's what I started. But building the business, a lot went through.
Okay.
Because you have to get
Share with
access.
us. Share with us, because we are majority of the youth want to start up a business, but we have challenges or difficulties in starting up. We are afraid. Majority are afraid. So how did you overcome this fearness and this kind of? How do you overcome it?
One thing that I believe is sometimes you don't need money. You need people with money.
Can you explain that? Break it down. Yeah, I'm interested in that part.
Sometimes you don't need money. You don't need the big resource. A lot of people think that before you can start a business, you need a bigger resource, a bigger capital. Sometimes you don't need a bigger capital. We have something in business called people leverage. People leverage is where you are able to tell stories about what you do to other people and they believe in you. You understand? Sometimes if you have a bigger capital and you don't even know how to start, you get locked up on the way. So the most important thing is the talent.
The talent.
The talent. That's the most important thing. Once you have the talent, and regardless, if the amount of money you want to start with is even below your target, because a lot of people set big dreams. I want to own this business because I think that it needs huge investment.
Sure.
Sometimes you have to get started with people rather than even starting with money. You have social media, you have a mobile phone. Most of the things that you want to start with are on the internet. When you start posting some of this stuff on your phone and even one person shows interest, you are in business.
Wow.
Shows interest, you are in business. That was what I do. I started posting some of the stuff that I design on social media.
Okay.
The response was positive.
Wow.
People were loving it.
The whole way.
It got to a time people thought that the stuff that I was doing were coming outside.
Wow.
But I was doing all these things in my small room. I was renting an apartment with a friend.
Wait. So these people leverage and the networking thing that you started with your room before establishing the
Business.
I think you have a company now.
For now, I have a small business. I won't say a company.
Okay, you have a small business.
I have a small business I'm running.
So it means that you started it in your single room.
Yeah.
Single room.
Yes.
Wow.
That was where my mobile phone became the greatest weapon.
So days ago, I had a conversation with some people. They were trying to say that if government is supposed to give them anything in life, they prefer food and data. The reason is because they want to be on social media all the time. So is it good for a youth to invest much of his time on social media?
Social media is one of the most powerful tools ever to be invented.
Okay.
But one problem I have with most of the youth is that they spend a lot of time on social media with no impact on their lives. The reason being that when I spend much data on my phone, then I go to social media, it has to pay me off. The money that I used to buy credit to get a bundle to go to social media, I'm supposed to make sure that it brings me results back. Because a lot of people are living fake life on social media. There's a lot of people are not real on social media. A lot of people too are using social for positive stuff. Tell me, which biggest brand in the world is not on social media? So if you have an idea in mind, and even if you have mobile phone, you don't have money, your greatest capital is your mobile phone, the social media.
Wow.
Just create an account.
Okay.
Facebook account, Instagram account.
Okay.
Post some of your stuff on your WhatsApp. And if you have your
I'm a layman.
Okay.
I have no talent, I have no gift in terms of this social media stuff. How can I get interest in this? As a life coach, how can you guide me?
To get access to
have passion for this. For this social media stuff and how to earn money from the social media.
We are now in global world. We are in the digital world.
Sure.
Everything is digitalized, and we have traditional way of marketing.
Okay.
So if you are not too good at social media, you can employ someone to do it for you. I remember some time ago, my sister wanted to start some business, but she wanted to have social media platform. She was zero-minded with social media.
Okay.
She called me and I helped her. So sometimes, that is why I'm saying it is all about people leverage. If you don't have any idea with social media, at least you have a friend or you have a brother or a sibling who is good at social media. They can help you out. Apart from the traditional method of selling, where you have to always be walking helter-skelter. That was what I started with.
But, okay.
Talking to people
about
myself. Sometimes I have to print.
So it's like you reach out to people. As me see, me ton we say, but Toby and I say me say, is that
That
how
is a
you
traditional way.
So how did you do it?
That is why I'm saying that no matter how much you invest in social media, you can't forget about the traditional selling. For example, as I came here right now, I have some of my flyers in my bag.
Okay.
Anywhere I go, in the church, after church is closed, I share some of my flyers with anyone I meet.
Okay.
It's a traditional way of selling.
Wow.
Traditional way of selling.
So it means that we have strategies in marketing.
Yes, a lot of strategies in marketing.
Then,
if you are not good at the social media side, because there are good businesses which are not on social media, and there are bad businesses on social media.
So on a percentage wise, how would you rate the good and bad on social media?
You see, it's like a radio presenter on air advertising for a product. He hasn't used the product himself.
Oh, really?
But he's advertising the product for you, the listener, to go and buy.
Okay.
The power of advertisement. You understand? So if you are in business and you don't have that skill enough, make sure that you use the traditional way very well. Understand? But you can't forgo the two. There's no way you can forgo the two.
Okay.
But the most important thing I want to chip in is, first of all, you have to ask yourself who you are.
Who you are.
That's the number one question for life.
Who you are. Okay, then who am I? I'm Kojo.
That is not the kind of explanation we need when we ask you who you are.
Okay, then.
Jesus Christ. If you need salvation, where do you run to?
To Jesus Christ, God.
Good. So Jesus Christ has refined a gift of this refined a value, which is salvation.
Okay.
So anytime you want to be saved, you run to Jesus.
Sure.
So when people should think about you, what should people think about you for? That is who am I? When people wake up in the morning and they want to think about somebody to come and fix their electrical appliance, then they think about somebody else. When you are walking on the road and your car got faulty, you think about a mechanic.
Okay.
When you have a problem with your health, who do you think about?
A doctor or a nurse.
A doctor or a nurse. But some people can drive all the way from Kumasi to Accra just to see a specific doctor. Why? Because that doctor has refined a gift.
Okay.
So you go there with your problem and they take you money. Your gift, God-given gift, should pay you. Some people are gifted with their voice. When they speak, miracles happen. So they are gifted with public speaking. That is their value. Okay? So if you want to be successful and you don't want to be working for other people, first, discover your gift.
Discover your gift.
2, refine it.
Refine it.
And 3, people leverage.
Discover your gift.
Discover your gift.
Refine
it.
Refine the gifts. And also people leverage.
Who are the people I'm supposed to let them know what I do?
Okay.
You understand?
Let's say, starting from a single room, I think you might have a role model.
Yeah, of course, I have role models.
Who is this person? And why did you choose this person?
Life is in stages.
Okay.
Spiritual, emotional, business, and all that.
Sure.
Educational role models and all that. So I don't know which particular one you want me to.
In business, entrepreneur.
Business. Okay, for business, my number one role model is Dan Lok.
Dan Lok.
He's
Why?
a serial entrepreneur.
Sure.
And his life story almost have similarities with mine. So he was the one who gave me a lot of business ideas. Though I don't know him in person, but we chat online. He's a serial entrepreneur, and then he has a lot of businesses. He's a very good person. He inspires me a lot in business. And one other person who also inspires me is Dr. Miles Monroe.
Okay.
I don't know whether you've heard of him.
Yeah, sure.
He inspires me in all aspects of life.
In all
Aspect of life. He's
spiritual,
business, finance, and all of that.
How?
He's just extraordinary. Though he's no more alive. I don't know whether you've heard about him.
Yeah, that is what I'm asking.
But the spirit of leadership that he has, yes, is what makes me love him.
Okay.
Yes. So Dr. Miles Monroe, Dan Locke, they inspire me a lot.
So I would say I feel shy approaching people. Apart from business, I feel shy communicating to you, Mr. Lee, that this is my problem, I want a solution to it. Is there any book that you recommend to every startup or any entrepreneur to maybe start with this book? Maybe you might not be like Mr. Amankrah, who sat in his room, started with creativity, and now he owns a small business or a business. Which book would you recommend to this?
Lucky Dubé said, I can sit here and teach you every trick in the book. At the end of the day, it is your life. It's a very powerful statement. You see, a lot of people have written books, but it doesn't work for anyone. It works for specific people. But if I'm here telling you to go and read Think and Grow Rich, Think and Grow Rich, sometimes you have to read that book like 5 times before you grab it.
Okay.
Somebody will go and read it for just once.
How?
And will never visit it again.
Okay, okay.
So I can recommend you to read certain books like Think and Grow Rich,
Okay,
How to Win and Influence People,
okay. Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Okay,
It's a very powerful book. If your
Okay.
child asks you for money, don't give him or her money.
okay.
Give your child something that will last. If your child asks you for money,
Money. I shouldn't give my child
don't give
money.
the child money or material wealth.
Okay, but
Give something, put something within them
Within
that will
them.
last.
are you married?
No?
Why?
It's a very big question.
Okay, okay. We will come back to that. So
Yeah.
let's continue. Let's continue. Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich
Okay,
by Napoleon Hill is a very powerful book.
okay,
You have to read.
okay. And the next.
There was also another book, How to Win and Influence People.
How to Win
And influence
influence
people. It's
people.
also one of the most powerful books
Okay.
that you need to read when it comes to business.
Business.
Yes, and there's also this book by, I think, Ryan Holiday,
Okay,
titled The 100 Startup.
okay.
It's also one of the books you can
100
read, startups.
Okay,
When you want to start up a business and you don't have resource, you don't have capital,
okay.
that will also help you to get some resources to start with.
Okay. In this period of, in this moment, we are not in good terms in terms of this COVID-19, the pandemic and everything. So how is business moving, flowing in this
During
time?
those times
Yeah.
of COVID.
Okay, let's start from
When it all
2020
started.
and now.
I would say it's been grace. A lot of people are saying they will give us solutions to the problems. But if you don't have the grace to carry on, you can move on. COVID-19 affected a lot of people
In terms of
in
business,
terms of how to even sell and all that,
every aspect.
every aspect. But it taught us lessons too.
Okay.
One lesson COVID-19 taught me is that I should spend wisely. Because, you see, in the land of Egypt, when Joseph, brothers sold him, and then he went to interpret Pharaoh's dream, you know what happened? The whole dream was that there will be 7 years of abundance. After the 7 years of abundance, there's also going to be 7 years of famine.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
Yes. Famine here means crisis.
Crisis.
So Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream that though there will be 7 years of abundance, what do they have to do when there is abundance? What they have to do, they have to save for the future. Because when the 7 years of abundance comes and we all enjoy, we don't know what is ahead of us. But what is ahead of us is another 7 years of what? Crisis. So therefore, in the 7 years of abundance, we have to save towards the crisis. That is one big lesson COVID-19 taught me.
I'm blessed. Serious. 7 years of abundance and
7 years of famine.
Wow. So, a young entrepreneur, what is the advice for the youth now? In fact, you are very energetic. People are saying the most easiest way is to be fraud. Is that a good advice?
Okay, let me answer you.
Okay.
Ask yourself, why do I want to be successful? That's number one. Lottery winners, bet winners. If we are supposed to use riches as money, the source of riches is money, then lottery winners and my bet owners, bet winners would have become instant millionaires.
Sure.
So the advice I'll give to every youth listening to me right now is the mind is the most powerful tool. You understand? Don't think about getting rich fast because it's not possible. Alibaba, CEO of Alibaba, Jack Ma.
Jack Ma.
When he started his business, people didn't believe in him. Even on the day he went to register his business, they were mocking at him. What name is that? Alibaba. He was the only one who knew what is in him.
Okay.
Setting 10 years goal doesn't mean you become rich in 10 years' time.
Okay.
It is just a guide to push you so that in 2 years, when 1 or 2 challenges come, you don't give up.
Okay.
Because you already have set a target. The Bible said in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21, that many are the plans in a man's heart, but the purpose of God will prevail. You might have many plans on paper, but God will select the purpose, the one which will guide you.
Wow.
But the problem here is that most of the youths of today, when they do this business, they stop. Then they touch another thing, they stop. They go for another thing.
But it's not supporting.
Like that.
I think they are not.
Because when they go into the first business and things happen along the way, they give up.
Oh, maybe they will say that I ventured into this business and it wasn't successful. The capital or the income is very low.
It's because you don't know yourself enough.
Really?
If you know yourself enough, you won't be doing all these things. You see, someone who is truly gifted about something, he can do it within 10 seconds. If you are ignorant about that thing, it can take you like a whole month. You can't do it. So when you're truly gifted, it pays you. People seek for you.
Okay.
So if you want to be successful in life, don't try to be successful.
Okay.
First of all, define the uniqueness in you. The value in you first.
Wow.
You understand? That's the most important thing. So if you are someone who knows how to play football, you're a good football player, and you want to really work towards football, what do? You have to go to training. You train on a daily basis. Then you are getting injured.
Okay.
Through all these,
it will strengthen the whole.
Yes.
Okay.
As you are getting injured, you don't quit. You don't stay at home. I got injured, so I'm not going to training tomorrow. You still persist, persevere, and work towards it. That is what makes you unique.
Wow.
There are a lot of footballers in the world, but why is it that when we mention Cristiano Ronaldo, everyone is bowing before him?
Well, okay. So
Understand?
okay. So right now, I want us to end our conversation by helping us to differentiate an entrepreneur and a businessman.
Well, entrepreneurship is broad.
Broad. Okay.
I can be a businessman, and the only thing I do is I deal in cars.
Okay.
Entrepreneur is the byproduct of being a businessman. Somebody who is a business, I can only sell phones. I'm a businessman. But when you're an entrepreneur, you look beyond that. You understand? Alibaba and the likes, they are entrepreneurs. They look beyond just one source of income.
These are percentage of university graduates. They are graduates. They've graduated from this university, big universities. They are in the house waiting for employment. Is there any word from you to these people?
Yes, I have a very powerful message for them. Our school system is not helping us. They judge your potential by examination. I don't trust that process. So when you get a C, after senior high school, when you get a C, they said you are an average person in life.
Oh, that.
Therefore, you don't qualify to the next level, which is the university. I think that is not the best. So, if you are in the university or you are graduating, while you are in school, you are still focusing on your dream. One thing I always say is that if you don't want to become a professional teacher in future, and you are able to even complete senior high school, and you don't want to be a business person, you have a gift and you work towards your gift, you become prosperous. You will make it in life. But one thing is, when you complete school, and even if you want to get a job, your job is what you are being paid to do, but your gift is what you are born to do. So there's a difference between job and work.
Can you differentiate this for me?
The job is what you are paid to do, but your work is what you are born to do.
Okay, I'm born to, my job is, okay, could you pick, I'm paying you to pay this desk from this portion to this, that is my job. So the work is?
The work is what you are born.
I'm born.
No one in history who is being paid at the end of the month for a job and has become a millionaire.
Oh, why? How?
Your job only gives you finance. Your work gives you fulfillment. Because you can't retire from your work, but they can retire you young from your job.
This, so I would say that
you understand?
Job is job a liability and a work an asset or what? Because
the word liability here is very broad. But one thing I would say is, if you are in a job, you know, there are a lot of people in a job that they don't feel comfortable. They hate Monday mornings. They don't feel comfortable going to work on Monday because
I'm not going to say anything.
because the jobs have become slave to them because they have not discovered the inner ability to discover their gift. You understand? So, if you have a job and you hate Monday mornings, that is not where you are supposed to be.
Okay.
You know, there are a lot of people working in so many companies and jobs that it's because of certain situations in life. That's why they find themselves there.
But it's very risky trying to start up with no capital and finance.
So even if you are in a job working for someone, you shouldn't ignore your gift.
How? Because your boss will tell you, you need to be at work 24/7, work within this duration. You are always tight. And how can you work on your gifts?
What will make a banker quit to become a caterer?
You need to explain.
Yes. There was a woman who was working in a hotel. She got fired.
Why?
When she got fired, her last paycheck, she took it to the pastor. She said, "Pastor, my life is over. My husband's job
it's not fetching.
And I've also been fired from my job. I don't know what to do. Pastor, my life is over."
Then crisis.
She cried at the office of the pastor uncontrollably. Then the pastor said, "You are not poor. You are not thinking."
Hey.
And she said, "What do you mean?" And the pastor said, "I know you. Where you are right now, that you have been fired. You have been fired because that is not where you belong.
Okay.
Do you know something? This woman has already made this pastor cookies.
Okay.
She was talented with the gift of cookies.
Wow.
She was good at that. So before he came to the pastor, he has already made some cookies for the pastor before. So this pastor knows her very well. He said to the woman, I'm giving you a business idea. You are not a hotel person. You are a CEO of a business. Do you have an oven in your house? She said yes. How many times do you use it in a week? He said twice in a week. He said you have an oven in your house and you use it twice in a week. So 5 working days your oven is not being used. You are abusing your oven.
Oh.
Go to the house,
So
go and bake some cookies. Go to the hotel that fired you, give free cookies to them. She said, what? He said, yes, obey me. Go to the hotel, give free cookies to the workers and the manager who laid you off. She said, what? She did that. The next day, she got phone calls. Any more cookies? 3 months. She got 300 customers. Now she is one of the most popular cookie women in the world.
Let's say the CEO.
CEO of a business.
Okay, so it means that most people or most youths who are poor is because they are not thinking.
Yes. Yes. This is the most powerful tool God has given man. This woman would have been a liability if she had still been working at the hotel. But she had a gift. A lot of women can cook, can prepare food very well, but they say they don't have a job. They abuse their kitchen. You have completed university. You are waiting to be employed. Meanwhile, you have a gift. When you prepare jollof rice, everyone will taste it and thank you and appreciate your jollof rice. You say you don't have a gift. You don't have a job.
Oh, okay. So let's say that I'm good in joking. That's
your gift. A lot of people have made money through joking, through comedies. That's their gift. And you can't retire unless you tell yourself you won't work again.
Okay, what about this? You want to maybe try and open up maybe a boutique, and a friend came, hey, this thing that you are selling, nobody will come and purchase it.
Okay. You have a life manual. Every human being has a life manual.
Okay.
When you buy television for the first time, they give you a remote. When you come to the house, because you think you are deep, you are only using about 5 functions in the remote. Trust me, your remote at home, there are certain functions that it can perform that you have not touched.
Oh, okay.
But you tell yourself you are deep. Your manual is only God who has your manual. You understand what I mean? So if someone tells you that you can't make it, what you are doing, you can't make it, and you also give way for whatever they are telling you, perception that they have about you that you can't make it, and you also give way for them, and then you quit. At the end of the day, you have allowed their decision-making ability to devour you. You are the only one who believes in yourself. So no matter what people tell you, that is not your manual. You are the only one who can control your manual in life. No one else can control your manual in life.
Wow.
So what other people are thinking about you is of no need. Stupid people make money. Intelligent people make money. I mean, everyone can make money. Everyone can become a success. I know a lot of stupid people who have become rich.
True.
It is here.
Okay. Stupid people, as in why are they stupid? Yeah, because somebody will say this word is very harsh. How were they able to make it through this with their character or their attitude? Stupidity.
Nobody wants to give birth to a stupid person. But when we see a stupid person performing, we are all happy. When you are working somewhere and you see somebody stupid, like jokingly doing something,
like the person is joking,
yes,
creating some comedy
some kind
around
of scenario or something. I mean, We are all happy and we stand and look.
Oh, okay.
Wow. But we all don't want to give birth to a stupid
Somebody,
person.
I think they have a name, stand-up comedy or stand-up
that.
comedy. Oh, okay.
There was a woman who was selling sachet water in a traffic, and there was a music playing, and she was dancing. Dancing. One of the most interesting dance I've ever seen in my life. I was in the car, and I said, "This woman, this is not where she belongs."
So it means that any little thing that you would do that will create an eye sheen on you is a gift or a talent.
That is why you have to go back to your childhood dream. Discover your childhood dream. Something that when you were a child, you were doing, people love it. When you were a child and you start doing something, other people behind you love it. So that is your inborn ability. That is what you have to go back and look for.
Okay, I'm beginning to
understand the point.
Yeah, because when you are matured, it seems like everything is being taxed. You can't do this, you'll be doing this. Okay, so this time when you sit down in your room,
think about it.
Thinking about the previous all days with your
childhood dreams.
Oh, okay.
The things that you used to do that people love. That is what you are born to do.
Mr. Amankrah,
yeah?
I've really enjoyed this very interview. In fact, I'm really blessed. But I've taken, I won't say a portion, I've taken the whole part of this conversation as part of me. He's listed some key points. It says, discover your talent, refine it, and people leverage. Leverage. This word is a powerful word.
That's why I said sometimes you don't need money, you need people with money. You need people with money. You don't need money, you need people with money.
No, wait. Explain the word leverage. Because explain the word leverage. Because people, I think majority understands people. And in the business, or not everyone is in the business also. Leverage.
Leverage means plenty.
So
building people.
Building.
I mean, looking for people.
People. Reaching out to people.
Reaching out to people and bringing them on board and all of that.
Wow.
You know, everything that we are talking about today, it's not the first time somebody is saying something like that. So the one listening to us at home can choose to take the advice, can choose not to take it. It all depends on you.
Okay.
See, when you pay your child school fees, you are expecting the child to come out with flying colors. But when the child goes to school, whether he or she will come out with flying colors or not, depends not on the parent who paid the school fees, but depends on the child.
How?
That is how God has made us.
How?
Before we came on earth, God has already finished us. Everyone.
So what
He has predestined you
in the few seconds, minutes, and the next day, God has
already finished you. See, so when you come on that, whether you can be able to make it or not depends mostly on you.
But as a minister of God, let's say a pastor saw this and he saw it like it was a prophecy. You will be a rich person in future. This person was 20 years. This person is now 40, 60 and is not rich. What is the problem here?
The problem here is the pastor can see your future, but he cannot determine what is in you. It's like a seed. You know a seed? When I'm holding a seed in my hand, and I tell you, what am I holding in my hand? You will tell me it's a seed, right? But I will tell you it's a forest. The future of you is not ahead of you. It's inside. It's trapped in you. So you have to be your own. You have to manifest it. The pastor can say it, but the manifestation is on you. There are a lot of people that have been prophesied that you'll be rich. They never became rich. Me, if you tell me I'll be rich one day, I will slap you.
Oh, wow.
I don't like the idea of you telling me, I've seen that you become rich. Compliment. I mean, I'll become so relaxed because I've already been coached that I'm going to be rich. So the kind of things that I'm supposed to, I'll be rich, so why do I even have to worry myself? I don't like that. If you call me and tell me you have a prophecy about me that I'll be rich, I'll tell you keep it. I already know that I'm going to be rich, but I have to work towards it.
So that is the problem.
That's the problem. So there are other people too that most pastors told them you'll be rich one day. They became rich. So what makes the difference? Those people put in efforts. Yes.
Wow.
So that's why I'm saying that the future of a seed is not ahead of the seed. It is inside the seed. That is why when you plant a seed, it becomes a tree. But when it becomes a tree and it bears fruit, the tree will not bring you the fruit. You have to go and pluck the fruit on the tree. You understand the point I'm making? So one advice I'll give to especially most of the university graduates, is that when they complete school, even if they are in school, they should not forget about their childhood dream, their potential, their talent, their inner capabilities. When you are in school and you forget about that, and you're always going to lectures, and you throw away your dream, your potential, you come out, and because our society doesn't help the socialist, you become a society crook.
Wow.
So even if you are in school, you have to work on your dream.
Even in school?
While we are in school.
So
I know a lot of people in the university that are doing online businesses. I know a lot of them in school who are owning mini restaurants and all that. They do bakery, some of them do cakes. I know a lot of them who does cakes and all that. When they complete school and they come home, they have a job and they are still working on their dream. So when the job is no more, they have something to follow.
A life coach, an entrepreneur, I'll add up to him, a CEO, whether he likes it or not, a CEO. But I'm really blessed. Thank you for coming, Mr. Lee, CEO of LMG Creative Media. But I've loved this conversation, and I hope you too, you've loved it and you've learned a lot of lessons. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, Jobek TV GH.